What's going on, world? It's your boy at Big Game James underscore 36, and this is Big Games B.S, part of the Media Group, presented by MFTKFoundation.com. MFTKFoundation.com is the website that we're going to for this year's community outreaches, or for all my community outreaches for the MFTK Foundation. Man, side note, Miles, did you make that last one, or did Jaden make that last one? The reel for Brad for Monster. Jaden found every goddamn MFTK. I was actually looking for all the different MFTK hats. Like, I don't think Jaden put one picture up that didn't have an MFTK hat on with Monster, which just made me even more grateful and appreciative for my I don't even know how you say it. I can't say is it my former colleague? Is that the proper way to say it now? Because he ain't here no more. But you know, it was good. My late colleague, there we go. Late colleague. Today was the first. Everybody's like, "Are you okay? How's everybody doing?" I was like, "I don't know. Just find out on Monday when we see everybody." Like, so, like, it was cool yeah, it's like, you're asking us. Like, it happened. We found out on a Thursday, I think. When did I get back? No, it was we found out on a Wednesday, and then nobody was there. Nobody was in school. School was kind of over, and today was the first day that everybody got back into the swing of things. It was good to see Brody. Brody went on a visit to UM this past weekend. We were trying to figure out some stuff with him at Florida State moving forward, because Monster was handling all of the recruitment for Florida State, really working to get his, try to get his son to consider. It's his decision, but he's trying to do, but rightfully so. I can see you got three boys all go P4. You want one of them to go to the alma mater if possible. But it was good seeing him, and it was one thing I want to say that was really, really cool. In all of it was Bradley Jr. He's back home, and he's trying to get a job in college coaching. I think that's the goal. So he's not a college coach. That's the goal. But he drove his brother up to workouts, and he stayed there, and he was like, I just want to make sure he's okay. And I thought that was real. I just think that's solid. That's all I'm saying. But hopefully moving forward here, again, I said that to say because Brad was a big repper of the MFTK brand and the apparel. On the website, we should soon have merch for that site for people to be able to buy it. You can buy it from me. I got all kinds of t-shirts, hats, and shit in the garage. Also, what we didn't do last week, what got lost, is congratulations to all of the 2025 graduates. Bert's got a daughter that just graduated high school, which is crazy because I remember her like in middle school running track when we were doing a share the love food giveaways. I can't believe it's been that fast. Like, it's crazy when you see how quick they come up. So congratulations to Bert on that. Having a high schooler start during the COVID is crazy. But so anybody else who's got, graduates or whatever, congratulations to you guys. Trying to think if we got any other. Make sure y'all go to the MFTK Foundation. Make sure you're checking out all of the stuff. The first camp we have, again, free camps. Tallahassee, I think our camp is almost, me and Pat Watkins, Amari Gainer's camp is almost to capacity for what we're trying to host. Y'all pray for me that I don't go to jail that weekend. That would not be great. Be not optimal, but I might not fuck with somebody, but that don't mean you get to get off and fucking with them. So like, I'm looking for them. That's all I'm saying. And I did tell a friend their job is to make his big ass is to make sure that I don't just run off and steal on somebody. Because of some bullshit that happened. God damn, it's damn near a decade ago. It's a long time. Crazy how time flies. I just ain't got a chance to get him. I haven't been around him, so I don't know. Like, well, actually, I have. I've been around him once, but it was in a very, very public setting. It was at an FSU practice, so I couldn't get to him at the FSU practice. But this is my camp. This is my shit. So like, I can get to you at my shit. Check that out. One that's just hit. Oh shoot! Congratulations, Angelo, for your for having a jit graduate from Jackson out east. Papa has a camp. I'm gonna send this to you, Jaden. So we can promote this on our socials. Mandarin U alum. I think I'm pretty sure did I save it on my page? Yeah, I saved it on my. Yeah, Demario Douglas. His free football camp at Mandarin University. It will be on Father's Day. And it's a free camp Father's Day at Mandarin High School. Make sure if you guys are in the Jacksonville area, that's two camps that don't cost you no money. Go get you some. Just drop your little kids off and get them fed and ran around and all that other bullshit. So, so those are I like free camps. We'll be talking about those. Oh yeah, you found Jaden found it. I was about to send it to him, but yeah. So that's Pop's camp. Mandarin High School. I think you get free gear. Hold on. You get free gear, a whole bunch of other stuff. So check that out. I'm trying to figure out what I'm gonna do if I'm gonna go to cause that's a whole weekend. So I gotta go to Tallahassee, come back. I want Trey and Kai to do Pop's camp. So I need to figure out how I'm gonna swing that. Cause then we gotta come back to Tallahassee for we gotta come back to Tallahassee for Mike Norvell's camp. So that would be clutch. I don't know. So anyways, check those out. Outside of that, man, those are the basic announcements that we have. Raising money for the book bag drive. We're 80% away from the goal. Gotta get some commitments quick. Or it's gonna be a real tight summer for me. But kids gonna get bags. Shout out to Daily Chop Podcast. Make sure y'all go check that out. New Age Media. Outside of that, we start off our show, whether it's morning, noon, or night, with a good word of prayer.
You already know what time it is, dog. Thank you, God, for another day. Thank you, God, for another day. Thank you, God. God is great. All the time. All the time. Nobody. Thank you, God. Thank you, God.
Boy, social media is so terrible. Let me read this real quick. I got this from a dog, Tony Williams, whose son is a 4-star from out of Rains High School, Indiana. I think Illinois football commit right now. Banks Miss Ain't Got My. I have no idea why that's her Facebook name or what that means. Football season is coming up. If you know your son gay and he don't want to play football, please don't make him play.
Wow. A woman said that?
A woman said
that. Oh my gosh.
That was to the point, Anna.
Damn.
So there you go. Those are your announcements. What we got, Jaden?
All right. So welcome to the evening edition of Big Games B.S. Excuse me, where we bring the good, the bad, and the BS in the sports world to your screens. Today, we are starting off our show like we typically do with some FSU football and baseball news. Then we'll get into the college football 2026 Hall of Fame ballot and discuss some notable names on this list and discuss a couple more college topics as well. Then we're going to get into the NFL, talk about the Jaguars, Liam Cohen shutting down some alleged trade rumors. Then we're going to stay in Duval, talk about the AFC South, talk about the Madden 26 cover and some behind the scenes details regarding that, a retirement, and some more player related videos as well. Next, we have a lot of info in our Big Games BS section where we bring the scope of conversation outside of football, talk about some popular culture topics. We have a RIP to announce. Then Mariah Mills revealing she filed a lawsuit against Zion that's been circulating the internet. Offset and Stephon Diggs. NBA Finals and NHL Finals are set, so we're going to dive into that. And we have a celebration for something that happened 23 years ago on this date. So, first things first, let's get into it. James, this is from your alma mater, not FSU, but Florida High. So,
Nice.
Isaiah Vickers has been offered from Florida State, 2028 defensive back from your alma mater, Florida High. James, how exciting is it to see Mr. Isaiah get this offer?
Well, what's even more exciting is he's a young man who I know they're tracking for real well at Florida High. Good friend of mine, Kevin Helms, is one of the coaches over there still. And I just straight up told him, I was like, hey man, there's some guys, I need from Tallahassee, man. We're gonna do this 7-on-7 thing the right way. And we're gonna take it up a notch. And this was one of the ones that he had brought to my attention. I want to just talk about some of the other things that this young man's a 4.0 student, and he's a track athlete as well as a varsity talent. So he's been in the football stars and stuff like that. So don't be surprised if you don't see him with a little MFTK going on next offseason or next few off seasons, and you don't see me talking about this kid at a really, really high level, high clip. But I love Florida High. Florida High's got a good amount of talent coming up here in the 27-28 class. They're definitely going to be one of the teams in Tallahassee to make sure that you're paying attention towards. So we need Seminoles that want to be Seminoles. So from a baby Noel to a big Noel, kudos to this kid, and I hope he continues to grow. I've heard nothing but good things about him.
We also have somebody dear to your heart, James, somebody you work in close relations with that got an offer from FSU. None other than the QB1 at Mandarin, Knox Annis. He received an offer from FSU. James, was this on your coach's radar, James? Was this expected? And how important is this for Knox to get the offer from the Seminoles?
Should have been happened. Hold on real quick. Hey, real quick, let me holler at you. So what? How did they all? How did this weekend? What did you do this weekend? Like at Tallahassee? Yeah, you went there. So what was it like over there at the FSU camp? Did they treat you all right?
Yeah, they treat me well.
They fed you, but they ain't getting no food. No food at the camp.
You said what?
They treat you good. You said they treated you good. So
yeah, they treated me well.
What all did you do at the camp?
We got 8, and then we played a little bit, and then we threw the ball around a little bit. Nothing crazy.
Okay. So when Tony did Tony offer you, or did Coach Norvell? So when Norvell offered you, was he excited, or was it like, here, get this down?
No, he was excited.
He was excited. Okay. I'm just trying to make sure, man. I gotta square up on these cats. No, I just want to see how you. I mean, I figure I'm not really breaking news, but I'm telling people that Knox got an offer from Florida State.
Yeah,
might as well try to figure out exactly what all transpired from Knox. as
Yeah.
opposed to me being like a journalist and just taking the three sentences and just making a 500-word essay about absolutely nothing. I figured we could just talk about. So what does that offer? Does that offer mean anything to you?
Yeah, for sure.
All right.
I mean, I thought they were going to be my first offer, to be honest.
But we got Florida, we got Miami. As far as in-state schools, South Florida or UCF haven't offered you, have they?
No, they haven't.
All right, so but you got the big three in the state. You got North Carolina, you picking up SEC offers and everything else. So the Florida State offer. So they're in. So if things go right, they have a shot.
For sure. I'm not checking nobody off the list yet.
All right, well, cool, man. What you got going right now?
About to give some eats with my boys.
All right, man.
Nothing crazy.
All right, we'll stay out of trouble. It's a long summer.
Yes, sir.
All right, man. Bye.
I'll see you, man.
There you go. You ain't gotta guesstimate. Just call the kid and ask him what's going on. So Florida State has a chance. I personally think Florida State should have been offered him, like he said, it should have been his first offer. But better late than never. And they just got to continue to recruit. And the fact that it came from Norvell, that's about as high of an honor as you could get from getting an offer. So it ain't no dummy offer. So, but at the end of the day, they can't commit anyway. So, I mean, they can, but it doesn't mean anything. So, but that felt good. I think he would have gotten an offer a month ago. Was it a month ago when he was on campus? But when he was on campus, let's say when he was on campus in April, kind of a major headline, happened that day. Schools, a big campus shooting happened the same day that he got on campus. So glad he's got that offer, though.
And we got one more offer to discuss, James. So FSU has offered 2026 four-star cornerback Jay Timmons, son of former linebacker Lawrence Timmons, after an impressive performance at the Seminoles Elite Camp. Although he is committed to Indiana, the offer should serve as an indicator of him flipping. So, James, you think there's a chance we can get a baby Noel to flip to come to Tally?
Yeah, I do. I think we have a really good shot at him. I just don't again, it's just not a frustration. It's not a mad thing. I just don't understand it. Like, you got, all right. We have another DB in the class of 2026, right? We have another a top wide receiver in the class of 2027. Both related to a cornerback cornerback signee in the class of 2025. Do you know what last name that those guys all share? Cromartie. They got the measurables, they got the speed, they got the ball, and they got the pedigree. You got the scholarships offer. There's a young man out of Arizona that every big school in the nation has offered. We finally offered a couple weeks ago. He's a 2026 offensive lineman whose last name is Thomas. His dad, Eric Thomas, was the starting center in the 99 national championship game. Mom pledged AKA at Florida State. It was a Garnet and Gold girl. Ain't nothing more Florida State than that. But yet we didn't offer until a little later. I remember getting them like on as a recruit so that a couple years ago so that they could like tour the facilities because ET hadn't been back since like the early 2000s. Get pedigree right there. You got LT's son, which is crazy because like I feel like I had too much of a break between kids, man. Like I'm mad. Like, you ever just get? I'm mad jealous that everybody's kids have grown up, and he's younger than me. Like, you got a jump start, but LT, again, meets the rules, one of the mixed breeds. But I believe he came up in the Tampa St. Pete area. He's trained by a former Nole, two former Noles at that, because Corn trains him. It's like if I'm looking at my board, right, and I got these guys and they're good. I gotta get momentum, get my wins when I can get them, right? Am I looking at this wrong? Like, shouldn't that be like not like, all right, if let's say Trey's a 3-star linebacker. If Trey's a 3-star linebacker and he meets the measurables that you want, why are we fighting harder for the 3-star from Texas than the goddamn kid who grew up with nothing but Florida State shit? Wouldn't you go to path of least resistance? You also know it's going to take a little bit more for that kid to hit the portal, more than likely. I don't know, but this kid right here is nice. I've been watching the film that Corn put out. The only thing I'm mad is that Corn didn't tell me about this kid earlier, and why the fuck wasn't he on my 7-on-7 team? This is bullshit. It's malarkey, sir. A load of malarkey. But yeah, good kid.
Now we're going to discuss some FSU baseball for you baseball fans. So the Seminoles have won the Tallahassee Regional Tournament, defeating defeating Mississippi State 5-2, clinching that.
That's what I meant to wear. My gold Florida State baseball jersey. I knew I was forgetting something. If they'll win again, I'll rock it on Wednesday.
Huge shout out to the Seminoles for winning the Tallahassee Regional, and huge shout out to Miles Bailey, man. He is a dog on that mound. I'm pretty sure he's leading FSU in home runs, and he's only a freshman. So, man, he is a scary, scary sight to see, man, on that baseball mound. So, huge shout out to the Seminoles and huge shout out to the ACC as well. So, the ACC had the highest winning percentage among major conferences on day one of the NCAA regional. So the ACC is doing their thug dizzle. And speaking of doing their thug dizzle, James, somebody on our team was stepping and he was not playing around. Our professional lip readers out there, please tell us what he said, even though you can see it right there in that quoted caption. So we're going to let it play.
It couldn't be more clear.
He said that with his chest. See, like, this is where I wish. Now, this is just me talking. Everybody might not feel this way. But this is where I wish we were at a better place as a nation. Right? And I'm going to check this out first to see he might be able to pass. That was Menendez, right? Is that or is that how you say his name?
I think Mendez, not Menendez. If I'm
Mendez, Mendes.
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out what this is. Like what nationality is. Clearly he's a pilgrim. A cool one at that. Wes Mendez from Tampa, Jesuit. Let's see if it's Jewish. Why can't I find some? What the hell is going on here? Anyways, can't find it. But so he was at Ole Miss first. Oh, so it's even a little bit more beef into it. Even more beef into it. So Ole Miss and Mississippi State are ops, right? They go up against each other. Apparently, one of the players from Mississippi State came from the U the year before that. And so there's like a little bit of bad blood. This man was getting after it. And I just really wish we could Luke Bryan him for a second. I think that's the right one, right? Who's the one who called the white dude a bitch ass nigga?
Morgan Wallen.
Morgan Wallen, my bad. Luke Bryan, don't want to put that on somebody else, but I think Morgan Wallen was perfectly okay because he used it in the right context. I really wish Mendez or Menendez, whatever. I think it's Menendez because I think of the Menendez brothers that killed their parents. But like he throw that bitch and just say, yeah, laugh now. fuck ass nigga. Like that would have been great. Because you know who would have been on the baseball field? A bunch of white kids. But it would have meant everybody in America would have come together at that moment. But we're not there yet. America's not great again. But I think I like it. I love it. I love that kind of passion for such a boring game. It just you can't help but get excited for it, right? Like, I don't know, it's 5-2. I don't know what's going on, but I looked at that. I'm like, yo, I don't know what's going on, but I speak that language. That was anger and some hatred, malice. Throwing a projectile 90 miles per hour at me with disdain in his throat. Like, that's just that makes the game a little bit, that amplifies it a little bit more, doesn't it? But shout out to our baseball team doing better than our softball team, because damn, they broke my heart. Even though that black girl's still pitching, boy.
So we got some NIL to discuss. NIL stands for Knowles in the League. So we have Jermaine Johnson doing the viral good night prank call to another former FSU star, Jared Verse, and this is Verse's reaction.
Like McVay, Stafford, a bunch of dudes on our team I have to go to. I'm on my way down to that right now.
Get to go to.
Hey, you take get to go to.
Yeah. Send your tone. Nothing. I was just calling to check on. You know it's late over here, so I just got nothing to eat in. Just calling to say good night.
So you said what?
Nah, I said I just got done eating. I just said thought I'd check on you, say good night.
Hey man, get the fuck out my phone, bro. Don't you ever call me to say good night again. We're gonna eat like this shit ain't happening. And we're gonna move on. You call me to say good night.
Bro, chill. I was just calling to say good night. We got a good relationship.
Hey, bro, I'm a grown man. Hey, our relationship just took a hit off you saying that shit. I'm a grown man. I'm gonna tell me good night.
All right, bro. All right.
That's funny, dog. Like at a certain point, man, like when is it? Because I kind of wanted to do it, but I think people would know it's something weird going on if I do it. Like I'm just calling people, because like it's been going on for a couple weeks now. Calling your friends and telling them good night.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like it's been going on for a while.
That would be like, what the?
You know the first one I saw? One of the first ones I saw was Jerome Harrison. Or not Jerome. I feel like his name should be Jerome.
Like,
it should be Jerome. It would be way more fitting. Actually, look up James Harrison and put up a picture and tell me it wouldn't be better if his name was Jerome. Because he looks like way too angry to just be named James. But James Harrison picked up the phone and called one of his Pilgrim teammates, and he definitely took it to the next level.
Yeah.
But like, I mean, if his name was Jerome Harrison, not like, I hate to do this because I know somebody's gonna probably, one of these bots are gonna think I'm serious, like and join in on the hate train. But like, if his name was Jerome Harrison, basically his destiny was locked up.
Yeah.
Like, we already know he's gonna be in. He would be who Ving Rhames plays in every movie, in every prison movie, with real life. But yeah, that's wild though. That whole telling me good night. I'm glad Trey hasn't decided to do nothing like that.
So we're
that's white people then.
I'm a northern black, so I'm good with it.
Like I tell people all the time, white people play gay games.
Yeah.
And it throws you off because like if you're not used to this,
yeah,
it's like, why are we doing this? Like,
So we're going to stay on this last topic revolving around Florida State, discussing one of the most historic rivalries in college sports. It is the Florida rivalry between Florida and Florida State. So we're going to get into some facts about the rivalry. So these are the last 10 games that the Seminoles and the Gators have played against each other, and you can see these scores right here, dating back from 2014 when we beat the Gators 24-19 up until last year where we lost 31-11. You can see we have a 6-4 record against them in the last 10 games, but let's look at where we at all time just to refresh everybody's memory. So the all-time record is Florida leading us 38 games to 28 losses. The largest victories were Florida and 40 beating FSU 49-0 back in 1973, and for the Seminoles 52-17 in 1988. So we're going to get into some win streaks. The Gators had the longest win streak of 9-5 from 68-76 compared to Florida's 2013 through 2017 stretch. And the Gators have 3 shutout victories compared to the Seminoles 0. So over the last decade, the two are separated by just 1 touchdown in total points, with FSU outscoring Florida 252-245. James, did you ever get a chance to look at the longest win streaks for these two programs? Because that 9-game win streak back then, you got to dock some of the years because that pre-segregation don't count.
Doesn't count.
Pre-segregation don't count.
Doesn't count when colors couldn't play. So I don't know what's going on with that. Like they should literally put asterisks by it. Like technically, it was white people were given performance enhancements, like because there were no fast people on the field. But it just goes back to just like it's a rivalry. It's a great one. Just don't like them. Just don't. It's one of those good. That's some of the best beef. Like, go ask people like who've been fighting for decades. Why are y'all fighting? I don't know. We just don't rock with them. Just like I sympathize. I don't think it's smart. I don't think it's right. I don't judge them really in anything else in life outside of that. I just don't like Gators. I actually told a kid today at workouts. The freshmen came in and they weren't dressed accordingly. Now, Toby pulled me to the side and said, well, James, can't expect them to know how to dress if we didn't tell them what to dress. I said, well, half of them use common motherfucking sense. They wore Mandarin colors. But this little fat body built like a strong black independent woman who don't need no man for shit swayed his ass up to the goddamn thing with some blue and orange goddamn shorts with a Gator logo on it. I said, son, did you do your research? Do you know what school you at? Yeah, man. I said, why the fuck you wearing blue and orange? What the hell's wrong with you? He's a 14-year-old kid. I'm like, I don't give a fuck. Tell your parent, we ain't got enough jerseys anyway. So, like, go quit. I don't care. You don't wear those colors. I said, I know this is y'all month, but we don't identify with that stuff out here right now. Wow. Like, do not wear those colors around me. I said, matter of fact, you wear them colors. I said, in fact, turn your shorts inside out. Go in the bathroom, turn your shorts inside out, and you come back out here. And if you wear them colors again, I'm punishing everybody. You have to set a standard. Rules can be broken. Standards are upheld. It's a difference. But fuck them. Like, Canes, okay, it's rivalry because we're both good. But Gators are just, again, I can understand how it's stupid for me to feel that way. I can admit that it's stupid. Just like it's stupid that you can literally dislike somebody because they don't look like you. I can understand it, but but mine is in football, not in life. Like, but I can at least admit it's stupid. But it ain't changing.
So we're going to transition into the 2026 College Football Hall of Fame ballot. There's a lot of names on this list, so we're going to get down to some of the top names. So this 2026 College Football Hall of Fame ballot includes Colorado running back Eric Bieniemy, OK State wide receiver Dez Bryant throwing up the X, Penn State running back Kajani Carter, Pitt DN Aaron Donald, the one and only, Syracuse wide receiver Marvin Harrison, Florida wide receiver Percy Harvin, Alabama running back Mark Ingram, former Heisman winner, and then you have FSU's own kicker Sebastian Janikowski, Boise State QB Kellen Moore, another Heisman winner, in that being Cam Newton, Indiana quarterback Antoine Randall, Nebraska DT Ndamukong Suh, and some coaches in the mix as well. Dennis Frenchion, Ralph Freggen, Gary Peterson, Gary Patterson, Chris Peterson, and Tommy Tuberville. RG3 was also on this list, James, as well. There's a lot more names on the
Cut
ballot.
RG3 off the list.
Yeah, they
yeah. But it's funny, Eric Bieniemy is on this list, but his jersey's not even retired at Colorado. He was one of the best running backs to come out that year. I like those coaches except for Tommy Tuberville. Fuck Tommy Tuberville with Magic's dick. Trying to think who else. Like, that's a really solid list. Kellen Moore's on that list, and people who listen to the Den, people were like, when is the last time a quarterback's ever had as much production as Shadur and hasn't been drafted high as that? Well, Kellen Moore, he wasn't drafted. So, like, he was very, very fucking productive. Like, but that's a good list. Like, I like that. I like that list. Now it makes me feel now I don't want Mike Leach. I don't want Mike Leach in, if that's the case. Like, because Mike Leach is not the caliber of coach as those other guys. That's me being honest. He's a good coach. He's just not that coach.
I have a question for you, James. Something that I saw scrolling through the comments. Do you think Heisman winners should get an automatic bid into the College Football Hall of Fame since they achieved that historic feat of being the best player in college for their respective years?
Of course. Like, the Heisman Trophy, whether you think they were or not, is voted upon by some of the best to have ever played the game. Like, you should be able, that should automatically get you into the Hall of Fame. So it makes perfect sense to me.
Speaking of Hall of Fame, this former QB needs to put his Schmeat on the Hall of Fame because he is doing production to the max. Philip Rivers is celebrating because his son, 2027 4-star QB Gunnar Rivers, is at Texas on June 1st, which was yesterday. And Philip Rivers was a 8-time Pro Bowler. And Chris Marler put a funny caption: we're about to get one of these for the next 1 to 2 years, for the next decades, like every Fast and Furious movie, because Philip puts the work on and off the field, as we know. So
you need to stay off his wife, bro. I actually am curious. Like, what are Philip's upcoming kids? Because, like, did he have like some of them can't be normal, right? And I don't want to call them because the nutrients ain't even get built back up before he jumped up on that woman again. Like, you gotta give her a break, dog. But Gunnar is like a quarterback name. Like, you gotta be nice with that name.
Yeah,
is that the only boy, or has he got like?
from what I've seen on the intranet, it looks like from these recent family pictures that he is the only boy from oh, let me see. Oh no, I think this is a full. Yep, he got his. This is his full 10 kids right here. So Gunner has a little younger brother, but 8 boys. I mean, excuse me, 8 girls and 2 boys.
His
Whew,
life is hell.
man.
Like, man, I know people like girl dad, not times 8. The hell I want to be that, dog. Like that's terrible. Like imagine you got 9 women that you have to talk to. No wonder he played so long.
Yeah, that is whew, 8 and 2. The ratio is crazy, but shout out
Said
to
2 and 8.
his son.
That motherfucker Florida State. Oh man, Gunner is going to go clear across the country just to get away from everybody.
Speaking of people trying to get away from everybody, man, they have this montage. Huge shout out to Dove Kleiman of the University of Georgia players and their run-ins with the law, especially when it comes to them being too fast and too furious. So we got this montage. So everybody, please enjoy.
Christian Miller. I don't even want to say that name. 2 last names, Samuel and Pimba. 2 last names, Jarvis Jones. Man, Justin Rhett, Trevor Etienne, Nani League, Sokovie White, Bo Hewley, DeMello Jones, Rara. Damn, still going. Kobe Young, Marquise Easley, Nitro. That's
That's a list. Wow.
man.
That is.
No wonder they've been so good. I'm just sorry. Like, just some of those things you just got to turn the other cheek. Speeding, I'm okay with. Domestic violence, I'm not. Jalen should not be able to. Jalen's the one who got one of his teammates killed, right?
Yep, the blunt smoker.
It's ironic. I just love how Philly, like, when they pick and choose. We will not visit. If there's a domestic violence charge, we won't even entertain the pleasure. Kill your teammate? Do drag racing? Man, no, that shit happens. It gets real sometimes in the streets. But like, but get into an argument with your old lady and the police get called? Nah, never. Won't even look at them. We need real bodies.
Yeah, Philly does not care about vehicular manslaughter. That is for sure, for sure. So we're gonna transition into the NFL, starting with the home team, 904 Duval, the Jacksonville Jaguars. So new head coach Liam Cohen was asked about the potential trade rumors regarding Travis Etienne. So this is what our new head coach had to say about those rumors and the performance of Etienne during OTAs.
So it's not so only we can't hear it. Everybody else can hear it. Oh no, they can't hear it either.
Oh, okay. Okay. So pretty much this is the bulk of the video right here. Before this specific quote you see right here, he was saying how dynamic ETN is with plays, especially where he's not the running back, a lot of like motion dynamic plays like that, transition from running back to a more like utility back. So he said Travis, bless you, Travis has done everything we've asked him to do and more. I don't understand some of the stuff I've seen out there that's absolutely inaccurate. So, James, how do you think Travis Etienne will fit in this dynamic Cohen offense? Hopefully, not being a majority running back, getting some of those dynamic plays, maybe some jet sweeps, maybe some slot work moves, slot work passes. What do you think?
It's like what I said in the Trevor Lawrence thing where I'm getting ripped up by people. You don't know what you're talking about. He doesn't do that. The bitch, he doesn't run the ball. He's not a great runner of the football. And that's from a guy who remembers getting his teams watching his. I can't call them my young brothers because I'm too old. My young bulls are my nephews. Watching them molest my nephews at Florida State for 4 years. Just beating the hell out of them. I hated this shit. For him to come to Jacksonville, he can't dodge a damn light pole. But he does catch the ball very, very well. He's built like a slot receiver. He does do some things dynamically, but the problem is he's a goddamn running back. And I'm gonna be honest, this is coach speak for if we could get something for him, goddamn right, we're gonna get something for him. If not, we're gonna figure out how to use. I have a plan for him. But if they were 100% sold, they didn't draft one running back; they drafted two. Now, one in the 7th round, one I think there's a 4th round pick, pretty damn good running back, for Virginia Tech, HBCU kid first. But like, you wouldn't have drafted guys who actually run the ball really fucking well, along with having Tane Bigsby, along with having some of the other guys. You're gonna trim fat where you can, or you're going to like get better. One of the coaching terminologies that people use when all things are better. Also, pimps happen to use this too. When all things are equal, go younger. So, like, if she looks just as good, she's just as thick, she has less baggage, go younger. If the player is if he's a younger player, and I think people will start valuing running backs based upon what Saquon and what Derek are doing. But right now, there is no value. But if you can get something for him, you'll get something for him. You'd be a fool to not do that.
Next, we have a video from, excuse me, Bill Simmons and Albert Breer, and they were discussing the AFC South and the possible standings after this upcoming regular season. So, James, we're going to play this video and let us know what you think, James, after, and what you guys think in the chat for your AFC South predictions for this upcoming season.
We got to fix the audio.
Yeah, let me see. Let me know if you can hear this when I start playing it in the chat and you as well, James.
Nah.
Let me try and fix. Let me see.
Still nothing.
Try one.
All right. Check the
Yeah, I can't hear it from my end. In the chat, let us know if you can hear the video, guys.
I don't think Jaden can hear it. Nah, they said they couldn't hear it. Damn it. All right.
While we figuring out the sound, James, I just wanted to ask you, since this is the bulk of the video, they pretty much claim that if you go down each of the rosters, the Texans are an extremely better team than the Jags, and that they will result and they will have the number one seed in the AFC South for this upcoming season. But the Texans have dealt with injuries in the past, especially with Nico Collins as the wide receiver one dealing with injuries. Obviously, you had Tank Dell going out last year, but nobody's doubting CJ Stroud and that D'Amico Ryan defense. So, James, this season, what are your predictions for the AFC South? Because it's basically down to us and the Texans, if we're being honest.
So these are Texans guys, right? Can you hear me?
Yeah. They were vouching for the Texans. Mm-hmm.
Hold on. I'm gonna play it just the audio so people can hear it.
What their odds are.
Houston's got to be an overwhelming favorite, right?
So that's what I thought too. Went to FanDuel. They're plus 115 to win the AFC South. I don't know who else you would bet in the AFC South unless you wanted to really talk yourself into Jacksonville.
I was going to say, is there like a lot of belief in James Gladstone and Liam Cohen now? I don't know.
Or is there belief that trade might be like, wow, Travis Hunter's like pretty good, but holy shit, they gave up a lot for that guy.
Yeah.
He's not jumping out of my TV.
I can't wait to watch him, but
Me neither.
I think Jacksonville's problem, like under the last regime, and this is where I think like there's some cleaning up that needs to be done.
Yeah.
Is like they paid a lot of good players great money. Like there are guys in that roster that they paid like their franchise players when they're just pretty good.
And would you put Trevor Lawrence on that list? Because I would.
I mean, you could. I think they pay Walker Little to play left tackle after he played for like 15 minutes for them, right?
Yeah.
Tyson Campbell at corner. I mean, Christian Kirk is gone, but I think he'd be another example of that.
Right.
Like there was just a lot of examples of like. I mean, you could even like argue that Walker is one of those guys. You know what I mean? Like, so, like, do they just have like a collection of pretty good players, and they don't have like they don't have like Houston has Will Anderson, like I said, Anderson, Derek Stingley, Nico Collins, CJ Stroud. I mean,
they have an identity at least,
right? Like, how many players on Houston's roster? Like, if you rank the two rosters, Houston and Jacksonville, how many Texans would you have to go through to get to the first Jaguar?
Oof.
All right, bullshit. So let's paint this. Go to ourlads.com. Whoever got access to the screen right now, and we can look at the Jacksonville Jaguars roster. Here's what I hate. And one. Look up just look up Jaguars. It should be a place where you can search. Oh yeah, it says NFL depth charts. Scroll up, like you see at the top in the blue. Not that. I don't know what that is. But like if you look up where it says our lads and you go to the right, like right where at the that's NFL free agent tracker. Go up like right. Oh, right there at the ticker. I think that's what it's called. Yeah, click on that. Get the Jaguars. So AFC, scroll down a little bit more. You just go click on the depth chart. And all right, so blow that up real quick. All right. And we should be able to actually try and make sure. Was this the one that actually click on who did he use? Walker Little. Click on him. Yes, scroll down. This isn't my bad. This isn't the one this is the depth chart one. I'm trying to remember the one for there's something that shows you the actual amount of money that they pay. But what happens is, and I'll think of it in a minute. Guys talk right about it's a lot of examples of them overpaying people. Like when I hear words like a lot of examples, I'm ready to get a lot of examples. He didn't give any, he gave one example. And got the guy tried to give him a lifeline to say, you mean like would Trevor Lawrence be one of those? Well, no, not really. Trevor wouldn't be one of those. Christian Kirk, oh well, he's not there anymore. Like if it's a lot of people, like do you believe the guy with two last names is one of those? With Josh Hines Allen. Like he's used Walker Little, and Walker Little's not even getting paid starting left tackle money. Okay, yeah, this is what I was looking for. Is that that was on our lads? Scroll up. What was it? So I can remember this website.
It's called Spot Rack. If you just
That's
look
what I.
up
That's the okay. My bad. So Spot Rack, our
a
lads,
spot,
probably the two most accurate things you can get for stuff. Spot Rack is for salaries. So when somebody says this is he's getting paid this when their average salary is 13.5. This is somebody you don't listen to because what they're not giving, they're just talking out of their ass. And that's the problem when it comes to Jacksonville's stuff is that people and our media is softer than fresh baked cookies and baby poodle shit. They don't go out and defend people. I think I was the last time somebody defended the Jags to the national media was me, and that's when Jason Lockton fuckboy hung up the phone on us in the middle of our interview, and the shit was hilarious. We went viral for it. I can see how somebody can you pull up the Texans rosters? I want to really go through this. I was
yeah, I
trying to
got,
get
yeah, I got it.
Big Sarge on, but he's probably doing something. Because I don't want to disrespect what the Titan, not the Titans, excuse me, the Texans are doing. I actually like them. I think that good. I think they're well coached. Good defense. All those different things. They got what they have right now is they have a quarterback that's functioning a lot better. But we should have let's go pull up the depth chart. But we had them dead to rights last year. We just couldn't close a fucking game. Mind you, I can't wait to go back to Houston. I had a blast. All right. So we got CJ Stroud. I'm giving you that. Joe Mixon, if I'm being completely blunt, I'm going to tell you that that's a push. Nico, cool. Christian Kirk, you just the guy in that just said, well, we overpaid Christian Kirk. Well, what the fuck could Texas do? They assumed the motherfucking debt. One of those, which one is hurt? Tank Dell or Christian? Not Christian, excuse me. Christian is always hurt. But Tank Dell and Nico, one of those guys is like not gonna give us much next year. Tight end, whatever. Fullback, there I give them the edge because they have a fullback. I know it. We know what Cam Robinson can do. Cam Robinson, this is what we're talking about the line. The most vicious thing that Cam Robinson did was get into an argument with Mia O'Brien about Walker Little 2 years ago. That's the meanest I've ever seen him be to a petite pumpkin spice princess. Like that offensive line, you can't go out and say, yo, this is just fundamentally that offense is better than the Jaguars. It's not shit you can say. Now, defense, we might be able to find a little bit here with the defense. Scroll down a little bit for me. Shit. Will Anderson, way more consistent than the dude with two last names. Derek Stingley Jr., nice. They got CJ, probably gonna play well.
No, their defense is nasty.
No.
He's
Zier,
nasty. Yeah.
Toto.
Petre, Lassiter. Oh no, these guys are
They got oh, yeah. Yeah. I gotta give them the defense. Defense slot. That defense is solid.
FSU
up the
alum
Jags.
Mario Edwards Jr.
Pull up the Jags defense. Maybe just maybe I'm not just not. Maybe I'm not giving them enough love. Don't know enough about them. Let me read this. Boys talking about because again, I like to do with two last names. I'm sorry, I'm rocking with just from the sheer excitement factor. Our two wide receivers. I like Anton Harrison. Like Eric Armstead finally playing the D tackle and not playing the DN. I think that's gonna be crazy. Like he's like that's a mismatch problem right there. And Trayvon, I think we're doing good. Foye, consistent linebacker. Devin Lloyd, I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't know what the fuck he's doing. Like I happen to like healthy Tyson Campbell. I see the Texans. I see the Texans defense better, but not alarmingly or overwhelmingly better. Excuse me, overwhelmingly better team. But I do believe if I had to, I will put money. I feel confident in placing a little bit of money. Not my. I wouldn't put my mortgage or my rent on it. But if I had like $100 and a 30% like power play thing that they do with the Hard Rock app, I put money down on the Jags winning. But the Texans, and I gotta see more with the Titans. You know who I know will not win? The Colts. And this is an Anthony Richardson fan account. But they ain't winning shit.
So, James, this is sad to say, but former FSU player was recreated on the cover of Madden 2026 with Saquon being the new cover athlete, and he got and the reverse hurdle was the picture that was used for the cover right here. You can see it right here being recreated. Looks
This
fire. Yep, looks so fire, but sad to see Jarian on that short end of the stick. So Saquon is the first Eagle to grace a Madden cover since Donovan McNabb in Madden '06, and he is the first Eagles offensive player to join the 99 club. So huge shout out to Saquon, and this is how they recreated the picture in the studio. You can see right here.
so they had somebody pretend to be him.
Yep, they had somebody pretend to be Jarian. Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Is that somebody pretending to be Saquon too?
Oh no, that's actually Saquon. I'm sorry.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that's actually
Like, but
Saquon.
the problem is that that's just not how it happened in real life. It just felt more fluid. But kudos to him, man. It was a hell of a play. I'm still mad about it.
Yeah, definitely a great play. And we got some more news, some retirements to discuss, James. Another NIL. So, veteran cornerback Ronald Darby, who played 10 seasons and was a part of that Eagles Super Bowl win, that Super Bowl LII, informed the Texans AFC South team that he is retiring from the NFL. He is a part of that 2013 National Championship team, stacked team, a lot of NFL players on that squad. So, James, man, 10 seasons in the NFL is truly a blessing.
Man, that's really what you grow up wanting to do. And he's did it. He's got all the ring. Everything you want to do in football for the most part, he's done. You win a natty. You win a Super Bowl, played 10 years, financially stable, financially set, and still relatively young to be able to go and live your best life. Um, kudos to him, man. Really, really good guy.
Shout out to Ronald Darby, man. 10 years in the league. A lot of people couldn't even make it to the league. So to play a decade in this league, man, truly, truly something special. And hope you do enjoy that retirement. Speaking of retirement, we are moving on up to the city of Motown in Detroit regarding their all pro center, Frank Ragnow. And he announced his retirement as well. So this is his statement right here from Instagram. Quote, these past couple of months have been very trying as I've come to the realization that my football journey is ending and I'm officially retiring from the NFL. I try to convince myself that I'm feeling good, but I'm not. And it's time to prioritize my health and my family's future. I have given this team everything I have, and I thought I had more to give, but the reality is I simply don't. I have to listen to my body, and this has been one of the hardest decisions of my life. The Lions organization has been absolutely incredible throughout this process, and I can't emphasize this enough how grateful I am for this team and all the fans. It was an absolute honor going to battle for you all, and I just want to read you off some notable accolades. Ragnar was a four-time Pro Bowler in 2020 and from 2022 to 2024, and he was a three-time second-team All-Pro, winning those awards in 2020, 2023, and 2024. He is the only NFL center to play 2,000 plus pass block snaps and allow less than 5 sacks since 2020. So, they're definitely going to miss that presence on the field. But James, he is prioritizing his health and his family over football. Cannot be mad at that.
I mean, yeah. When you're ready to go, you got to go. I always tell people, can't nobody take those hits for you. Nobody's going through camp for you. You got to do it by yourself. So, kudos to him for being able to live his dream, be able to feed his family, doing what he needed to do, and getting out.
Huge shout out and enjoy retirement as well. So, James, our crazy fun fact for today is regarding the Eagles wide receiver A.J. Brown. So, A.J. Brown had more receiving yards in his first 5 seasons than the Hall of Famer Calvin Johnson. I know this is a stat where it depends on offensive scheme, coverages, quarterback play, but I just thought this was an interesting stat to share with the fans and to bring it to your knowledge if you knew this or not. And you can see right there, they are comparing their yards right there. Less than 100 yards difference between the two in their first 5 seasons. Whew. Wow, that is a lot of yards still. Almost 6,000 is still crazy numbers for your first 5 seasons. So celebrate both of those. But obviously, Megatron had that extraordinary career, arguably top 5, and if not everybody's all time receiver. Is he top 5 for you? That's the
Mm,
real question.
damn. Not longevity of not how long you've been in the game, how long were you on top of the game. So yeah, one T.O. is my favorite.
Yeah, me too.
T.O. is my favorite, and I think T.O. gets a bad rap because he had he had Garcia, and he called Garcia a fairy basically, and Donovan McNabb kind of is, but he got into it with the guy that everybody liked, and I kind of messed him up a little bit. But I gotta go T.O., gotta go Jerry, I gotta go Randy. Um, I'm trying to think of the old school guys. Um,
Got Chris Carter, Larry Fitzgerald, even though he's not old school, but
I got
older.
Fitz. Fitzgerald's got to be in there. Larry Fitzgerald's got to be in there.
Yeah.
And then the problem is just who's there, man. Like Jerry is the guy that people will forever say who they want their wide receiver to be. Work ethic wise, paying attention to the routes, all that bullshit. Jerry, hands down, got it nice. T.O. Jerry on steroids. I want to put that, but it's if we being real, Andre Johnson, Calvin Johnson, about the same dude.
What about his son's now balling? Well, hopefully have a baller next season in the
Marvin
NFL.
Harrison?
Marvin Harrison, yeah. What about him?
Not top 5, but he was the top guy, which is why it's hard for me to. I mean, I feel sympathy because I know him, but it's hard to feel sympathy for Section 87.
I
Even
just
best
saw
wide
that.
receiver on your team.
Yep.
Like, so how can we, say that? Yeah, man, it's shit, man. This guy's like, when top 5 means you are iconic, right?
I feel like Megatron does. If we're talking iconic, then his double teams.
Megatron, yeah, just
that was crazy.
yeah.
Megatron Randy.
Yeah, like Randy's gonna be in my top 5 because Randy was like that motherfucker. Like, we can say what we want. Was he the best route runner? No. He was so good at one route, you couldn't stop it.
And that's why I put T.O. just because what he did to the Patriots, that Super Bowl, I've never seen a receiver say, put the whole team on his shoulders like that.
T.O. can run every route.
Yeah.
And he's big, he's fast, he's physical. He's not just a guy that you just like, it's crazy.
A machine as far as work ethic as well.
Yeah, like, I'm gonna be honest with you. You probably could throw T.O. on some roster right now, and he'll be your 3rd or 4th option.
I seen him racing someone cheated the other day.
But like, it's kind of what I call bullshit, right? On the old guys, and why I hope I'm never that. I'm going to be that old guy like my guy Monster put on there. Like, I got 1 or 2 plays, and I'm going to whoop your ass in those 1 or 2 plays. Yes, we were more physical. These young guys are more athletic. They're supposed to be better. They have us. You know who coached me? Damn, what's his name? Last name. Damn, I can't even think of my head coach's last name. Ben Willis. Ben Willis played D3 football. Pat Campbell. Love Coach Campbell to death. Coach Campbell didn't play football. Like, I had a math teacher that didn't do anything. Like, a bunch of people who didn't do anything. Great guys. But when you are coached by, let me rephrase it. The guys who really changed it, Jason Whitaker, 2-time All-American at Florida State. Coach Jesse Solomon played I think like 6-7 years for the Denver Broncos. Like, when you got guys who played in the league coming in and starting to teach you, like, shit.
When did like plyometric training and explosive training really start?
In like the late 90s, early 2000s.
Yeah, that's so
like
we just got it.
like people still, like, it was bigger, faster, stronger. It was one program that people just bought. They didn't even go to the training seminars. They just bought it on a VHS and they duplicated the fucking system. Body by body. But then what ends up happening is you have got, the NFL starts talking about the combine. They start talking about the training. They start showing all these different things. Nike comes up with the Coach of the Year clinic, where coaches are now going to spend a weekend where they're going to go learn from the other top coaches. Some of it ends up becoming bullshit because they're not really teaching that shit. They're just talking. Like, I remember one time, like, I think it was Miami Central. Like, listen, we run our favorite play is 4 verticals. Well, here's the reason why we run it. This guy right here runs a 4-3. This guy runs 4-4. This guy runs 4.4. This guy runs 4.3. My quarterback runs 4.6. My running back runs 4.5. You can't do this. We can just outrun people and somebody's going to be open.
Yeah.
But they started talking about people started creating programs, training. We have people who are certified strength and conditioning coaches now on staff. People are like actually liking it. And it changes the trajectory. Like my joke when I had my gym is like if I had me and you wouldn't be having this conversation because I would have been better. Like so like it's just those are the things that I think are prevalent, but like there's a lot of guys like Merton Hanks. There's a ton of guys that I'm just not thinking of that were good,
It's hard to say iconic,
but they're not iconic.
Yeah. Like
Top 5 corners, iconic. Top 5 quarterbacks, not even necessarily iconic, but just very, very good. Like Tom Brady's iconic.
Yeah.
John Elway, not John Elway. Joe Montana's iconic. John Elway is iconic. Dan Marino is iconic. When those guys were playing. Mike Vick's not a top 5 quarterback, but definitely if we were talking about just influence.
Yeah.
Vick was it.
Like the Allen Iverson.
Yeah. But no, it's just interesting.
We got a fun game. This is a continuation. We do huge shout out to I think it's NBC Sports where they have the current NFL team. So James, who is this team? If you could guess, the difficulty is hard. I admit I was struggling on this one. I admit, especially since they don't have that QB, running back, or tight end position highlighted. So, James, by these schools, by these players, can you guess this team right here?
But NC State receiver? Cincinnati, boy, that's hell no, man. What the?
Yeah, that's what I'm like. Who's the Cincinnati receiver?
This team ass? What's the team?
It is the Las Vegas Raiders,
I was
James.
right. I said ass. The team is this team ass, and they
so,
are.
So the NC State wide receiver is Jacoby Myers, and the Cincinnati wide receiver is Trey Tucker.
I would have never guessed that.
Yep,
Yeah,
Trey
you gotta be a fan for real.
Yeah, Trey Tucker is in his second year in the league. But if they gave away that tight end position, we probably definitely get it right off the top just because we know Brock Bowers doing his thing. Got that 1,000-yard receiving season last year as a rookie, one of the only 4 rookies to do so last season. So this was a very hard one. I struggled too. I had to look it up. I'm not gonna lie, I had to look it up, but it was fun. It was fun. Speaking of fun and games, James, you might have to play this video on your phone as well because everything is a rollout, James. Asante Samuel Sr. had Deion Sanders, yes, Deion, on his podcast discussing the origination of their beef. If you guys are keeping up with Sports Dan Media Group or just sports, excuse me, sports Twitter a couple months ago, Asante and Dion were going back and forth on the internet. It was that T-step technique video right there. And they're going back and forth. And then they started to discuss resumes. And then Ocho and Uncle Shay Shay stepped in to talk about it. Everybody was talking about it. So they took to the internet on Asante Samuel Sr.'s podcast. And they discussed how they had their problems began. Yeah, I can't hear it.
Yeah, I can't hear it. Hold on.
I was working for NFL Network, and they asked me who were the top corners in the game. And see, I hate to do that. I hate to do that. I think this was the first and the last time I ever gave a ranking. I'm telling you, you don't know that. That was the first and the last time. Okay. And I said blah 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 blah. Then I said Asante Samuel is the best off corner in the game, and you didn't want that. You didn't want that. So what was wrong with that? Because I was just being 100. Like what I would have wished that you did.
Oh crap!
I wish you would have traveled.
Right.
I wish you would have took the dog and took him out the game because I know you was capable, but y'all didn't do that.
Right.
So it's hard for me to say that when you got Reeves out there and some of the other cats out there, and they were traveling.
But the reason why I wasn't interested in matching up because I wasn't getting the ball like I was getting in practice against Tom Brady. So let me explain this to you, right? Like I said, you the one pioneered that term lockdown corner. But you have 50 interceptions. Nobody is doing that no more, right? So how I looked at it, coach, right? The quarterback was in control of the football.
True.
Most quarterbacks are right-handed.
True.
And most passes go to the right side, the defensive left side, right? So my mindset was, I'm going to take away the quarterback's favorite side to throw to. And that's going to create the advantage for the defense. So I'm playing the quarterback. I don't wish to play the receiver because the quarterback has to get the ball to the receiver. So that was my mindset. But nobody understood what I was doing. So it's like, it kind of got washed out. So you compare me against any quarterback, against Peyton Manning, against Eli Manning, you know what I mean?
You got yours.
Right.
But what we wanted to see was the matchup.
Man, that sounded like that could have been a conversation that could have been had a while ago. I was wondering why Sante was like so bitter about everything that Dion said, like that he was coming at him. I'm like, bro, you ain't iconic. Nobody thinks of Asante Samuel and Dion in the same sentence, even though Asante in his own right is good. I always think this is why I hate list Twitter and stuff like that. But isn't it always like funny? Like somebody's not gonna say, damn, you know what? There's like 100 really good players at my position. Like they're gonna automatically get offended if you don't place them in a certain row. And that's crazy to believe. At any given point. Like I personally don't get it. But I do know that I thought this would have more numbers than what it had. Oh, but this is from somebody else's. I wonder what Sante's actual post got. But what I will say is with them talking, you're hearing a lot of good ball. And I
think it was left. I was working
we
with
don't hear enough good football talk. And because or just in general, everybody's playing the dozens and not talking about the game. And I think that's where things get misconstrued. But it's all about the next soundbite.
Who were the top corners in the game? And see, I hate to do that. I hate to do that. I think this was the first and the
I can
last
hear the
time
video being played
I
right
ever gave a
now.
ranking. I'm telling you, you don't know that. That was the first and the last.
You got you, Jaden?
No, I said I can hear the video Miles is playing right now.
I got it.
Oh, you got it fixed.
So we can move on, and then I'll we don't need to play the sound for this next video I have queued up because it's no need for it. But for the big games BS segment, yeah, we definitely need it for one video in particular. But these tattoos, James, are getting out of hand for real, for real. So CeeDee Lamb was put to sleep for a full back tattoo. It took 8 hours to complete, and Lamb had 4 artists working on him at the same time. So, whew, check out this piece of work because it did come out very, very nice. I cannot lie. Four people working on him, 8 hours. Is it worth it, chat? Let us know if it was worth it because, man,
I don't seem healthy.
One, I don't like these guys are taking the easy way out. Like the whole purpose of the tattoo is supposed to be you're supposed to remember it. Like these guys get knocked out.
Oh, he's knocked out?
Yeah, 8 hours.
Oh, that's corny.
Yeah, 8 hours. Yeah, he ain't moving. Like
Man. It's not how they have to do it.
it's nice though. The details is crazy.
yeah,
No, the actual
yeah,
design is fire.
yeah. That's nice. But
Let's
like
get let's
you got to
bring it
get
back.
if you got to get knocked out to get it, don't do it.
You see the Kobe one of him biting his jersey. You see a gladiator helmet. The cross always in the middle. I-45. You got a that looks like a leopard, if I'm not mistaken. Doesn't look like a tiger. I think it's a leopard. And he had the cause tattoo on his leg as well. So man, 8 hours though. Whew, that is that's a long time to be in that chair knocked out. A long time.
Yeah, no, I'm good.
So now we are in our Big Games BS segment where we bring the scope of conversation outside of the typical football world. So let's get into some news. First things first, we have an RIP to get across. Man, legendary. If you're a real sports fanatic, you know who this is. Sad to say, the sports world has lost John Brinkus, the former host of ESPN's Sports Science. They did a lot of cool experiments with athletes to showcase their abilities for the common folk on the screen and break down the science behind the science. He was reported that he was battling severe depression, and I assume I tried to read up on it, but everywhere I was looking said he had lost his battle with depression. So
Yeah, that's a fancy way.
right,
Mm.
yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, he was recently on one of your favorite former players shows, James Marcellus Wiley. He was recently on his podcast and he was explaining his bouts with depression, and that video's been circulating. But yeah, it looks like he lost the battle to depression. But sad to hear John passing away because he did so much for the sports fans out there and for the science fans out there, combining the two worlds together and producing great content that ESPN should have never got away with or revamped.
Yeah, I don't understand why it was so interesting, especially when it was breaking down a lot of the stuff. One of my favorite ones they broke down was, because a lot of athletes and trainers still have this mindset, right? That you should not have sex before you play. They say it wears you down and it tires you down. Well, science says that's false. In fact, it gives you an unnatural advantage because the orgasm puts more testosterone into your blood. So like now you're actually stronger than you would have been had you not had sex. And they used boxers. They used a female boxer and a male boxer to get both of them things. And it's just like it was. I should have known this was the downfall of ESPN. They went away from smart shit. The further we run away from smart shit, the worse the world becomes. So, but it's I really wish they wouldn't say he lost his battle. Just tell it what it is. The world is tough, man. Even smart people. It's really hard when you're smart. And he's probably just seeing a lot of bad shit and just don't want to deal with it no more. But I really did like that. Like sports science.
Yeah, I think they had one with Brandon Jacobs to show his trucking power, how much power he has when he trucks. And whew, man, that the dummy they used, it was a real person, but it looked like a rag doll, man, because that force he had was insane, man, completely insane. But RIP, man, to a legend in the sports world. So James. So a news came out about Zion last week. We discovered it was a civil lawsuit in the amount of $50 million, and it was a Jane Doe report. So Miles, you got the video queued up. I appreciate it. And it turns out that adult actress Mariah Mills speaks out after filing the lawsuit against Zion.
So she put Jane Doe like we all wouldn't know that was her. Jane dumbass.
He deserves a chance to be heard, and I hope me and any of the other victims, I just hope we all get justice. And the amount of bashing, humiliation, slander, and threats that I've been receiving these last 3 years have been a lot, and it's causing me a lot of stress, emotional distress, and I just hope we all can come to justice and this all can be resolved and nobody has to relive all these things ever again. Everybody deserves a chance to be heard, and I hope.
Am I heartless, or it just feels so disingenuous and fake?
People say I'm heartless because I get mad at children actors in my favorite shows. She reminds me of them. I'm enraged at her bad acting.
Like,
you even take a class.
So my friends, I have some friends who've seen her stuff. Have seen her work.
I'm sure I have.
Clearly, they say her mouth is amazing. But I'm trying to figure out what Zion was like looking at. And I guess she wasn't as bad before she did all the stuff to her body, but like this is a clear, like, body dysmorphia. Like she's clearly crazy.
Oh yeah. That too.
It's not that I hate that it had to be her. She's put herself in this position. I know. I hope this goes to trial. I hope they put her on the stand. And I hope that they not only get psychiatrists, they get whoever to completely deconstruct her so that we can it's time. Not time to fight back, time to do a lot of other stuff, but like this shit is just not normal, man. If you go to another country to put concrete and other stuff in your ass to make it bigger or whatever it is, there's something fucking wrong with you. You need help. And by help, we mean like literally, like if you win, if I'm the judge, I'm gonna say this: if the jury says that she wins X amount of dollars, you receive that upon completing a mental evaluation, full psychological evaluation. There's something wrong with you, and I don't feel sympathy for Zion because he made a dumb decision, but like to throw SA, DV, all of this stuff into it, man, bro. Like one of the things I think can help everybody. We don't need no more red pill talks.
Facts.
We don't need no more of this sympology shit. Yep. Ladies, I'm here to tell you: the more the guys agree with you, them dudes is just as worse as the dudes who don't agree with you. They all want to get in your drawers. Mm-hmm. What we need is to stop saying this is why you have to defend women and start taking shit case by case. And women, we need y'all to start saying, yeah, that's a dumbass bitch right there. Like that bitch right there is fun. I don't want to know. I don't need you to self-diagnose her. And I don't need you to put your own self in that experience. I need us to look at this situation and say, that bitch lying. How you know? Because I'm a bitch and I be lying. Now, you ain't got to call yourself a bitch. But same thing with fellas. Like, we could go and say, yo, hey, man, there's something wrong with that motherfucker. Like, it's okay to say that shit. Like, and not have to be like, I'm no longer a man or I'm no longer a woman. We should be able to call spades spades.
Right.
Diddy should be locked up, right?
Correct.
Under the jail. But not for what the fuck they got him on, man. These are two freaky ass individuals who went and brought in other freaky ass individuals that wanted to do some freaky nut ass bullshit. I shouldn't have to every day see battles on when you don't know what it's like when you're in love and you're just I do. I'm not finna take a 14-inch penis in my ass for love. You know what that dude said? I would do anything for love, but I won't do that. Like, I'm not finna call and say, man, I'm not, like, again, like, women don't even. That's why I said we can't trust you. You'll just say anything. How do I know you're just not saying anything to me now? Because when you get that thing, like, I can imagine Diddy's nastiness. I'm always down to do a freak off. Diddy was like, show you right. Ooh, that's my girl. He was probably jumping up and down and everything. Same thing with Zion. Zion's ugly. He looked like the dudes from Class Act, like the bully from Class Act. He got money, he got fame, he was able to find somebody that he thought was pretty. Don't know why he thought she was pretty, but he thought she was pretty. And he thought, man, I'm just gonna buy this pussy and it's not gonna be that bad. And I'm gonna do what I want to do. And she don't want to do what he want to do. Instead of just leaving, she trying to get the bread because she feels she's entitled to his money because I don't know why, but this shit will never be right. We got to start. We got to change, man.
Oh my gosh, she really does look like.
Bro, listen, dog. I can pick him now.
And you can't claim grooming because she's the older one at this point. You know, nobody's bringing that up this time.
Everybody, it's only grooming when men do it.
Right. Like, bro, at some point we need a term for this. Y'all come up with all these psychological new terms for shit where you get to be the victim and make the world bend to you. What's this when the girl is straight up possibly lying and ruining someone's life and career? What do we call this one?
Monday.
Finessing.
Oh no, that's all right, girl. Go get your bag, girl. He need to stop playing with you. They need to do this. They need to do that. Rah. Man. Listen, dog.
Like I'm getting gaslit.
Girl built like an ant.
And I know, and that's you know what? I don't feel bad for him no more. Y'all weird.
Yeah, I don't feel bad for Zion if he in this position. Go get your bread, man. Hey, go get your bread, Mariah. You did all this work, man. Zion's an idiot.
Yeah,
I don't. Zion's an idiot. Like,
yeah, I can't see it.
And Trey came to me and said, Dad, I got this. I'm like, I just, this is where, again, is Jaden Daniels' mom wrong?
That's a wonderful woman.
Because if this is what she's preventing.
Yeah, exactly.
Because we don't know what his taste in women is like. Like, because again, if my son brings a loud, and I will call your daughter that word that y'all don't like, if y'all don't raise her right, if she come in my home, I'll be like, son, don't bring no loud bitch into my house. Like, I ain't got time for all that shit. It's stressful. Will the vagina be good? Probably. But is it worth it in the end? There's other vaginas out there that we can get you that's good. That we don't need this shit.
And put him on game like, yo, you know, there's a lot of makeup involved in whatever face you think that is right there. She really ain't gonna be looking like you can get a badder chick at the whatever. How old is he?
Zion's like mid-20s.
Oh
dog.
my god.
He's in the prime of his life, dog.
Go to the coffee shop and find you a better. It's no.
The problem is
he's 24.
They come with a different set of problems.
He's 24 years old.
24. They come with a different set of problems. Their set of problems is they believe that the world revolves. The problem is Zion's around a bunch of women who believe the world revolves around him. Like he's not in the 1% of the population.
Right.
That's the annoying part, is that we have taught average people to know their worth, and they don't know their worth, and they don't know when they've gotten, like, we've taught men that they've outpunted their coverage or they've done more. And we don't realize, like, hey man, now some of y'all really need to take hard looks in the mirror and realize that you got a guy that likes you, and you should be happy about that. And vice versa too, with guys too. But like, Zion ugly, but he rich, and there's no such thing as an ugly rich person. Not to everybody, but yeah, that's crazy. Mariah needs to be committed.
Women are on a roll in 2025 because Cardi B got these grown men acting like they some little kids. So Offset tweeted this on his Twitter: good rollout and PR. And he said, today I pass. Then Stefan Diggs took to his Instagram story and posted this: him catching the quote unquote pass that Offset threw. So James, these internet games are sick, man. Cardi B must got these men in a choke hold.
Yeah, because Cardi a freak. Cardi is again a liar, and I don't mean anything bad. This is, first off, I am an unapologetic Cardi B fan. I actually believe the world would be a better place if more women acted like Cardi B in certain situations. Like Cardi B in the sheets, what's her name? Camille Cosby. Not Camille Cosby. What's Felicia Rashard's name in the Cosby Show? Anyways, Felicia Rashard in the streets. Which, honestly, guys, true. I think Felicia Rashard is Cardi B in the sheets and is herself in the streets. Cardi B is the new age woman that's not real with herself, that wants all of the benefits of fidelity, but none of the but none of the things that came with that, the old school things of that nature. Because here's where it doesn't make sense. And I've heard women try to tell me, well, she's making the choice. No, here's what it is. Regardless of the fact, you got kids, right? You've got kids. And Offset might not make the most money, but his rap money is better or more consistent than NFL money, to where my man is going. Offset got hoes. Cardi B, clearly you're fucking. Y'all could be fucking y'all could be hoes in peace in matrimony. And I would feel differently if she wasn't doing that shit with Stephen Diggs. I'll tell you, the hurt that comes, like, women, like, men can't take cheating. That's not true. What men don't like is when you were one way to get us, then you flipped and did a 180 once you had us, and then you go right back to doing the shit that you did to get us with the new motherfucker. Cardi's on boats with hoes, shaking her ass, twerking with a dude who is clearly not just fucking her. And he's fucking dudes. Per lawsuits. Allegedly. What I'm saying is, if you don't know what's going on, oh, well, they got an arrangement. Make that arrangement with your husband. Clearly, y'all in an open relationship anyway. And stop this shit where, oh, she got Offset he's spazzing out. Man, I don't really think he's spazzing out because his ex is a hoe. He's spazzing out because his baby mama's a hoe. And you got your kids. She got to kiss your kids with that mouth. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just, it's different when it's you. I don't, and that's the part why I don't like. Women's get back to men I don't think they understand that the get back to get to a man, you have to sacrifice your body. So is it a get back? Like you feel empowered because of that? I don't know, man. Kudos to you, but I know what the world loves. The world loves a hoe. And Stephen Diggs is doing what you're supposed to do when you get the baby, when you get the woman like fresh off the relationship. Run through her, have a great time, throw her back to the streets. Cardi B is just a better version of Tia, one of the Maori bitches that broke up with a good man to go see what the streets was like. To one now you want your husband back, but like I don't know. Like I said, man, Steph better catch some passes for New England before they cut his ass. He did have that good pink cocaine though.
Yeah, you remember we were at the Jordan party. We saw Offset pop out with old girl.
I was so disappointed. So so disappointed, man. Offset had some mid, boy. Well, when I tell you it was not good milk, it was not good milk at all. But Cardi don't look like Cardi looks very well developed with makeup and and filters. Um yeah.
So next thing we have to discuss is some championship talk. So the NBA finals are set. The teams are in. The Indiana Pacers are facing off against the Oklahoma City Thunder. I'm excited for this series as a basketball fan, man. Super excited. MVP Shea Gilgeous Alexander is leading the OKC Thunder against the Eastern Conference champions. So, James, have you been watching basketball lately? Have you been keeping up?
Nah, but I'm gonna be betting on Shy Glizzy. Um and Halliburton is the guy in Indianapolis whose dad's crazy, right?
Yeah, he ain't that crazy, but yeah, that's him. That's him. Yeah.
All right, yeah. So it's gonna be it's gonna be a finals that nobody gives a shit about, but like in the end of it, I'm with you. It's probably gonna be probably some of the best basketball we probably would have watched in the finals in quite some time.
Yeah, I'm super excited for it. I got the Thunder in 6. That's my prediction. So Thunder beating the Pacers 4-2. But we will see. We will see. So everybody stay tuned for those games. And we have the schedule for you right here of these NBA Finals games. So this is the schedule right here in case you want to kick the lookout for a specific game or if you want to watch the whole series. So the first game is this Thursday at Oklahoma City, 8:30 p.m. All the games are on ABC. Game 2 is the following Sunday, June 8th in Oklahoma City. Then they're going to the Gamebridge Fieldhouse in Indy, June 11th and Friday the 13th. Ooh, then game 5, they're going back to Indiana. Oh, excuse me, they're going back to OKC on Monday, June 16th. On Thursday, June 19th, they're going to Indiana if necessary. And on if there's a game 7, it will occur on Sunday, June 22nd in Oklahoma City. So super excited. And the internet fans doing their thing, man, with these nicknames. So they're calling Tyrese Halliburton the Halliban, and you got Shea Gilgeous Alexander as Al Shida. So you got the Halliban versus Al Shida in the finals. Can't wait for this super duper finals, and hopefully it's gonna blow up for sure.
Looks fun.
Looks fun for sure. Next, we got some NHL news to discuss. So the NHL playoffs are set, and shout out to the Florida Panthers making it back there again. So the Panthers are going to face the Edmonton Oilers, and game 1 begins on Wednesday, June 4th at 8 p.m. Eastern. If you're a Floridian, make sure to support the Panthers. Game 2 is June 6th at 8 p.m. Game 3, June 9th. Game 4, June 12th. And if necessary, Game 5, June 14th. Game 6, June 17th. Game 7, June 20th. So, hockey games, super fun to watch, super enjoyable to watch. So, make sure you support your local Florida team, man. Make sure to support your local Florida team. And last but not least, James, to close out this show, got to end it off with a good note, man. Today is the 23-year anniversary of The Wire premiering on TV, man. Legendary show, The Wire. So, James, 23 years, it premiered to this day. What are some of your favorite lines from this show, man?
You got me confused with a man who repeats himself. And for the king, you best not miss. She. He was so good at that.
Yeah.
One of the craziest lines, I think it was Bump, right? That was one of the characters' names. The black guy, the big black detective.
And yeah, Antonio Pierce, is that his name in real life?
Mm-hmm.
Let me make sure.
Said, I'm just a humble motherfucker with a big ass dick. He said that it was. I said, yo, that's one of the greatest, funniest bars ever, dog. Bunk, that's it. Yeah, like it's a
Wendell
show.
Pierce. Excuse me, Wendell Pierce. That's his name in real life. Wendell Pierce.
I will never, like, again, I went back and I watched them once I really got into it, but like I didn't realize until the third season, like it finally connected that Omar was gay.
You didn't want to realize.
And
what? Wait, the third season?
You didn't want to realize.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you the episode. It was episode 1, season 3.
Wait, no, you can't be serious. Because in the first season, that's where they killed his light skinned mans, right?
What I'm saying is, I didn't see that episode at first.
Oh, okay.
I was, this is like now we can go back and you can binge watch shit. Then it was every week, like I ain't gonna lie, we got too much shit.
Yeah, 100%.
TiVo fucked up the game. Because TiVo is what made us start getting stuff on demand. Or like even my mom, what my mom would do is that she would put the VCR in and she would record her stories every day so that when she came home from work, she could watch the stories. She'd speed through the commercials, but like all this other shit. But like back in the day, HBO, it was destination TV. You knew 8 p.m. on Sunday night what was going down. Sopranos, Oz. Then, they went to The Wire. But, you miss the episode, they'll show it like earlier, but like you got to like, nah, I'm going to watch the new stuff. So I'm watching it and I just know that there's a badass killer around here named Omar. And when Omar, I'm like, all right, cool, I got it. I picked it up. But the first episode, I believe, is season 3. Omar is laying in the bed. And when he gets out of the bed, you just see this long hair and light skin. So I'm like, man, my dog the bum got a Puerto Rican. And I'm sitting here, he goes to the corner, he does his little Omar shit, right? Walks and does all that stuff. And then he goes and he gets like some Cinnamon Toast Crunch or some shit. And then like he comes in and then like, you see it, and I'm just like, oh, man, he really like him thin, dog. That's kind of weird, but all right. And then, like, it turns around, and I'm like, oh, shit, it is a Puerto Rican. But it's a Puerto Rican dude. Threw me off, man. Just threw me off. I called my mom. I said, Mama, Omar gay. She's like, your teammate Omar? I said, no, he might be gay, too. I'm not sure. But Omar from The Wire. She's like, yeah, baby, where you been at? That boy been gay. And I'm going to tell you why men are not homophobic. God rest his soul, because he's dead. That man has played Chalky White. He has played numerous other characters that are just as gangster. And you know what we have seen him kiss a man on TV. The dude who played Omar. We have allowed him to play other roles and never held the gayness against him.
I mean, remember Spartacus?
Yeah. But I've never watched any of them playing anything else.
Oh, that's true. That is true. They may be too far gone.
Yeah. Just the way they talk, Spartacus. I can't, the new one's supposed to be, I may go watch the old ones just because. One, it was some, Asher's that's the new one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck Asher. I do hate Asher. But like, it's just the way they talk. Jupiter's cock. Like something bad. Why don't you just bend me over and spread cheek and voraciously rape my ass over and over and over again? Damn, that was just cutting line, bro. Why gotta be all that? Why gotta be all that, though? Spartacus was the perfect blend of softcore porn and violence and good acting. I mean, actually, I say softcore porn. They was fucking.
Yeah.
They was getting active. But yeah, man, the Wire, great show. HBO had a run. And you know the wildest thing about Jaden? Almost every name they used in The Wire was actual people in Baltimore street life names.
Oh, yeah.
Like Marlo was really Marlo. Omar wasn't Omar, but he was a interpretation of multiple stick-up guys. Barksdale Crew and Family was a real family. It was crazy.
So that caps off our evening edition of Big Games BS on this Monday, James. Any last words to say to the fans? Got a lot of people in here, man. So any last words before we log off?
It's cool to watch it on X. Please continue to watch it on X. Don't be afraid to watch it on YouTube for a little bit. Click, subscribe, like the channel. We got to get that back up. We got to get this thing popping. Getting a book bag drive. We just had my guy Andre Whitfield donate a book bag. I appreciate him for that. Looking for other businesses to partner with. Anybody who has a business or knows people that may want to be a sponsor for the show or the book bag drive, please let me know. Would love to get them involved. I want to make this as big as possible. If not, continue being members, continue commenting, watching the show, spreading the love. Appreciate everybody. We will see you guys. Appreciate you guys for chopping up, and we'll see you guys on Wednesday.